and Schiff, and I'm here today with the Jewish Federation of Greater Atlanta to show you how I make brisket. I've been making this brisket for over 40 years. My family loves it, my friends love it, and everybody loves it so much that it's a featured recipe in Seasoned with Love, Culinary Treasures from the Bremen. This is available at the Bremen, at the gift shop, at the Selig Center, downtown 1440 Spring Street, or it's available online. But today I'm going to show you the brisket, and the people who are here who you can't see get to taste the brisket, and if you want to taste it, you have to make it yourself. Well, if you're ready to make brisket, this is the one to start with because it's very easy. I mean, it's only a few ingredients you can see right here. First, we start with celery. I usually take some hearts of celery and I just chop off the end, and I clean them and wash them, and then just stick them in the pan. Real easy. Don't have to chop. The onions, these are 2 onions that I have just halved and then sliced. I put them right on top of the celery, and no particular order, nothing, it doesn't matter. It all cooks down together, and you just sort of flop it on top anywhere. Then I throw a couple of garlic cloves around, just to give it a little bit more flavor. This is a 3 to 4 pound brisket, and when you buy the brisket, you have to sometimes get a little of the fat off. I had to take some fat off of this one and make it a little less fatty. But you want the fat to be on the top when it goes in the pan. So you start with the lean side, put a little bit of salt on it. I happen to like garlic, so I use a lot of garlic. You don't have to use so much garlic if you don't like garlic, but it all cooks up so you really just get the flavor. And then I just flip it out over on top, put a little bit of some more salt on top of it, put a little bit of garlic on it, and then I take a bottle of chili sauce. Any brand will work. Doesn't really matter, I've used lots of different brands. And then you take the bottle of chili sauce, you walk over, put water in it, rinse out the bottle a little bit with some water, and I put the bottle of water around the bottom. I take a knife and I just rub the chili sauce all over the brisket. Then I take a little piece of foil, stick it lightly on top, and I put it in the oven. That's it until 3 hours from now. 3 hours have elapsed since we last spoke, and the brisket is ready for the next step. And at this stage of the game, there may or may not be a lot of liquid in the bottom. You just never really know. The brisket now requires a bottle of beer. You just put it in around the edge, and then we cover it. And this time we cover it very carefully and very tightly, and that will hold all of the liquid in there. The beer and the salt are tenderizers for brisket. Brisket in and of itself is not a real tender cut of meat. And one of the things that you want to do with brisket is tenderize it. That's why you cook it at a fairly low heat, 325. You never cook it at a high heat. And you try and put something in that's going to tenderize it. The salt will tenderize, the beer will tenderize. And the combination of the beer and the chili sauce will give you a flavor that is absolutely fabulous. And that's what everybody loves. After you've got it tightly covered, you put it back in the oven for another hour and a half. The brisket came out of the oven, and I cut it. And then I just stuck it in the refrigerator overnight. Now, the reason I put it in the refrigerator overnight is because I want to have the fat congeal so that I can remove it. So I did that. I put it back in the oven for just about 15-20 minutes just to warm it up. Half an hour is probably best. And then I put it on the plate. That's all I did. After I put it on the plate, I took what was left in the pan and I strained the extra gravy into a gravy boat. And now I'm just going to put a little bit of parsley around it, make it look pretty, and then it's ready to serve. This is such an easy recipe. It'll become a family favorite in no time. And if you want the exact recipe, again, it's in our book, Seasoned with Love, Culinary Treasures of the Bremen, and available at the Seelig Center at the Eleanor Bremen Gift Shop. I hope you all enjoy eating this brisket as much as my family does, and thank you for joining us today to see how to make a fabulous brisket.